What's up, guys? This is Richard for this edition of Learning with Rich. So for today's lesson, I'm going to teach you how to create or add foundations in Revit Structure 2017. So in this exercise, I'm going to create and add isolated foundations and wall foundations to my building model. Alright, so let's get started. So this is a very quick exercise again. So hopefully you learned something from this video. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add isolated footings at the column location. So let's say, for example, you see I have columns here. Okay, so these are my columns here, right? So I'm going to add their isolated footings. All right, so to do that, from the structure tab, there's a foundation panel here. Okay, I'm going to select isolated. All right, so I'm going to select isolated, and then from my type selector, so you will notice I only have two types of rectangular footing here. So let's say I want to create another type. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the edit type here to open up the type properties, and then after that I'm going to duplicate it. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate. So let's say I'm going to create 1800 by 1800 by 450. All right. Oops. Okay, then I select OK. So there you go. I just created a new type of foundation wall. Then the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to change now the dimension. So I change the width to 1800, 1800, and the thickness is 450. There you go. So I just select here OK. And then after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick now, I'm going to place now this, let's say, to the intersection of my D2 grid. So I'm going to pick here. Okay. And then there's a warning that will appear here. After you pick, Revit detects the bottom of the column is set below the reference level of the current view, and it displays this warning saying an attached structural foundation will be moved to the bottom of the column. Yeah, so that is what we want. So we want the rectangular footing to be placed at the bottom of the column. So you just need to close this one. There you go. Okay. So another way of placing your isolated foundation. So from the multiple panel here, there's an option here at grids. Okay, so I'm going to select at grids. And then after that, what I'm going to do, since I'm going to place it on the intersection of my grid, so I'm going to select, let's say, the EF here. And then I'm going to hold control. And then I'm going to select also the 2 and 3 grids. So you will notice there's now my foundation. Alright, so after that, I'm going to select here finish. So I just finish again. And then again, just need to close this warning. So close the warning message. It indicates that an attached structural foundation will be moved to the bottom of the column. All right, so you just need to close this one. All right, then after that, I'm going to select modify here to terminate it. So let us just take a look in 3D view. So I open the 3D here, and then there you go. All right. Okay, so that's my isolated foundation. Now, the next thing that I'm going to show you guys is I'm going to add wall footings under the basement and retaining wall. So let's say this is my basement here. Okay, so I'm going to add wall footings here and retaining walls. So I'm going to open the basement view. Okay, so this is the one. Alright, so from the structure tab, foundation panel, so there is the wall, structural foundation wall. Alright, so I'm gonna select this tool. And then after that, I'm now going to hover my pointer to one of the walls. So I just need to move my pointer. Do not click yet. So you just need to hover your pointer over the wall. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to press the tab. Okay, you do not need to hold the tab like this. Okay, so you just need to press it. Press once. Okay, so again, you will notice every time you press the tab, it cycles the selection. And aside from that, it highlights the chain of walls. Okay, so again, you hover your pointer and then you press the tab once. Okay, so it highlights now the chain of walls. So once it highlights, you just need to click it. There you go. To place the foundation wall. Okay, so I select here modify. So I want you to notice also that portions of the wall footing and then the isolated footing automatically displays as dash lines because they are below the basement slab. So that's the reason why, you see. Right, next. So I'm going to select again the foundation wall. So before I place it, I'm going to duplicate it. So I'm going to create another type of wall foundation using the existing one. So I'm going to duplicate this again. Okay, and then I'm going to call it retaining footing. Okay, so retaining. Okay, so retaining footing. So I just select here OK. Right, and then I just change the structural usage here. Instead of bearing, I just select here retaining. Alright, so I'm going to specify now the toe length 1,800, the heel length 600, thickness I'll just leave it in. I just leave it on the 600. Default end extension length, so let's say I make it 600 also. Okay, and after that I just select here OK. Okay, now I'm going to place my retaining footing to this wall here. So I'm going to select this wall. I click. There you go. Alright, and then I select here modify. And then I want you to notice also that the retaining footing is extended 600 mm past the retaining walls as specified in the type properties dialog box. You see this one, so 600, right? This one 600, this one 1,800. So that is actually the settings that we have made here, right? This one, oh, retaining footing. There you go, right? So that is actually the settings. Okay, there you go. So like what I've said, this is a very quick exercise. Let me open the 3D. Okay, so this is now how it looks like. Okay, there you go. So beautiful. So hopefully you learned something from this video. Again, if you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, you can always put it on the comment section below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And you can also subscribe to this channel and to my blog site so I can, or you can email me directly in case you want to use the exercise file that I'm using right now. Okay, so again, this is Richard from Learning with Rich. Have a nice day.